can stop you from being deceived. If you try to find out what's up my sleeve, you can figure out what a bag of means. If you try, nothing can stop you from being deceived. Nothing can stop you from being deceived. Nothing can stop you from being deceived. Nothing can stop you from nothing can stop you from being deceived. Nothing can stop you from being deceived. Nothing can stop you from being deceived. Nothing can stop you from nothing can stop you from being deceived. Nothing can stop you from being deceived. Nothing can.
Man, what's going on, bro?
What's up, my brother? What it do? What it do? What it do?
Man.
I'm over here beating myself up.
Man, live from the crib today, bro.
Yeah, man, that's what's up.
I was in the shop.
What's been up?
Once I left
Huh?
shop and got home, I'm like, man, I'm not going back out the crib, bro.
It's a wrap. Huh?
The crib today, man. I'm tired, man.
I ain't mad at you at all. What's been good? You have a busy day?
Not too much, man. I filmed a haircut tutorial for YouTube, so that was challenging. My initial thoughts was to wait until, on an off day or something. But I'm like, see if I can do it, through the course of a day, be it that today was a half day. I start cutting my Wednesdays down to half so we can do the podcast. I just threw it in there, just random, see how it go. It was all right. Is it Saturday? Absolutely not. Is it something I was doing on Friday? Nah, I'm probably going to go with my initial thought and do that on the off day or something. Hey, speaking of that, let me tell you about the hats, right? So the I Cut My Way Out merch is available, right? You can reach out to the I Cut My Way Out inbox, and these hats, different color hats, different variations of the hats, the shirts, the merch is available. But what we're doing is me and Ash just putting something together so it'll be on a click basis. Like you could just go in and click what you want and do it that way. It'll take care of itself. We haven't officially put anything together for it yet, because as you can imagine, it's a process. So we appreciate that. We appreciate you, digging the hats. They good quality hats. I'm not gonna lie.
Yes, sir.
Good quality little situations. And if you got some sauce on you, got some swag to you, it's enough flavors, to make it what you want. You feel me?
Yeah.
So
I got you, man. I'm gonna send you a bro.
Yeah. So outside of that, man, what's been going on with you? Catch me up on what's been going on out there. And bro, sure, what, bro?
Just been grinding, man. Been grinding, man. Man, it was funny. I put a post up a couple of days ago, man. I had a brother, man, come in the shop, and it's kind of been some low key haters in the town, they a little older, and so they don't necessarily like the appointment supposed to walk in, right? With me and my situation, with my son being in there, me and him, the only two barbers, we got a loctician. He's kind of in and out. He does some home appointments and stuff like that. So he's kind of in and out. So my schedule, I can't take walk-ins. I just can't at this point in time, right? So I appreciate that, Moo. That's my boy Moo. He in Atlanta, outrageous barbershop. He in Atlanta. But he's from the crib.
Okay.
That's my daughter's cousin.
Okay.
So but man, it was crazy because I was going to address it anyway, because I had got some words that it was some low key hate, and not going at it aggressively, but I was gonna mention it. I have a brother come in, man, and he looked like he might have been a little older than me, but he was still, rocking the Air Force One hat bent off to the left. So he come in and he said, man, I'm trying to get a haircut. I said, unfortunately, we don't do walk-ins. And I was the only person there. Well, the loctician was there, but my son was gone on lunch. I said, we don't do walk-ins. You know, we cut by appointment. Man, what kind of shit is that? I said, bro, that's policy. That's what we do. But you sitting in the chair now. I said, I just finished a client early. I'm waiting on the next client to walk through. Man, that's bullshit. Man, in Chicago, I ain't never seen no MFE turn down no money. So I kept my composure. What's up, Mo? I kept my composure. I started to go there with him, but I kept my composure and I just laughed him off. You know what I'm saying? But it's you know, the evolution and the business model has changed in the industry, and some people just don't feel it. But it was interesting because when I put the post up, I had a lot of responses in the town, and 99% of the people who made comment to it, you know what I'm saying, love the whole appointment thing. It's more convenient for everybody around the board, you know. So it was interesting, man. Last week, he just came in and cussed me out, so that was my first time with that, man. So I just had to keep my composure.
Hats off to you for keeping your composure. Personally, nah. Nah. Because what it is, man, it is people. A lot of times, people don't like to look at things from a perspective that's any different than their own.
Right.
Yeah, just off what you said, it's you and your son and a loctician. It's only two bars. There's no way you can service everybody,
right,
you know, in any given day. That's just not going to be able to get done. One, because it's not enough time in the day.
Right.
Two, human. You know what I mean? Y'all human beings. You're not. People will expect you. Some people, right, expect you yourself whenever it's convenient for them. You know, it's just, hey, you here, you cut hair, cut my hair, and it's like no. And then I hate when people try to use that reverse psychology or in some way demean us by saying I ain't never heard nobody want to turn down money. Well, all money ain't good money, and money ain't got nothing to do with me. That's your money, your value, or your money is your value, just like my value and my time is my value. You know? So again, my hat's off to you. Because me personally, that's one of the moment the moment you start to cuss me, yeah, nah, bro. I'm like, come on, let's talk. Let's walk outside. Let's talk real quick. You got me fucked up. I don't know who you think, bro. Let me take you outside real quick. Let's talk. You know, about it. I'm gonna try to. I'm going to attempt to refer, or I'm going to attempt to speak to your sensible side.
Right.
If you do that same cussing you was doing inside out here, I'm going to pop you in the mouth, bro. Period.
Right. So you got to go down.
Yeah, it's going to be the end of that discussion because at what point is it disrespect? Do you go anywhere else and talk like that?
Right.
Do you go into Walmart? You know, there used to be $9.98 behind everything, $98.98. But they took the 8 down and put a $9.99. You get them that same noise.
Right.
When you call a dentist office and tell them that rotten tooth in the back of your mouth is hurting your face, and they can't see you until next week, do you talk to them on the phone?
Right.
You're not going to talk. Don't ever think you're going to come somewhere where I didn't sacrifice my blood, sweat, and tears and talk to me any kind of way you want to talk to me.
What you say, it ain't going down.
Real fast, because that ain't cool. And then you put that post up and people start to listen. People who read it and understand, the world is changing, man. Like, the world is changing. The people who don't want to accept the changes in the world, they're going to be the people who going to turn into the next. Those are going to be the next group of entrepreneurs, but not because they have entrepreneurial spirits. They're going to be the next group of entrepreneurs because they're going to be forced to do everything they want to do themselves. Right. But they don't want to deal with somebody else's timeline. They don't want to set up on. It's still people to this day, believe it or not. It's still people to this day that go into corner stores and complain that they don't sell 25-cent bags of chips no more. Right. When was the last time you sold a 25-cent bag of chips?
Look, when we was in Nashville, we went to the gas station. When we leaving the show, we ended up going to the gas station. And we looking at chips and like, damn, do you remember when these bag of chips was this price and that price? And the bottom line is everything going up, man. Everything is evolving. Again, business models are changing. And it gives, you know, one of the big things for me, it gives the barbers a balance. You know what I'm saying? It gives us some control too. I'm going to meet you halfway, but my family matters and things that I have to do matter as well. You know, and some people don't want to hear that. You know, for a long time with barbers, we've just been kind of the doormat. People need us, right? But they don't realize our value. And I think the pandemic really showed people like, damn, you know, I took advantage of this barber stuff. You think you just walk in and now you don't have a barber, you know what I mean? And if we weren't needed, then there wouldn't be so many barbers. You feel me? So,
Man,
you know,
the pandemic was like you said, barbers are, man, you hit a point, bro. Barbers are needed, but well, at some point, it's still to some people now, right? Some degree, it's been changed a lot, but barbers are needed but underappreciated immensely.
Yeah.
Barbers are the equivalent of the dish towel in your house, right?
Right.
They got a dish towel in their crib, and you don't think about how much you value that dish towel until you don't get one.
Right.
People say, "Well, I'm gonna just use my little dish machine." Well, what if that breaks? You ain't got no dish towels. Now you washing dishes with your hands.
Right.
You don't wish you had that dish towel.
Right.
Like you said, the doormat. You don't know how valuable a doormat is until it's soaking wet outside and somebody tracking it through your crib.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like the pandemic allowed barbers to understand, or I think it allowed barbers enough time to stop and reapproach how they're approaching business.
Right.
Now, big shout out to all the barbers who was doing appointments way back when.
Right. Right.
Hey, no, it was a lot of guys who had jumped on the appointment wave way back when.
Right. Right.
They were getting so much pushback from everybody else in the barbering industry because the expectation of what barbering has always been you service walk-ins,
Right.
you service this, you service that. And even still to this day, I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with service walk-ins.
Absolutely.
Still service walk-ins too. But the way I approached servicing walk-ins had to change with the way you can't expect to be a productive business if you have no idea of time restraints or control.
Right.
You can't control your time or your growth, your outcome. You can't figure how you're going to grow. You can't systematically approach growth if you have no system. It just don't work that way. Right.
And I'm gonna tell you one of the things, like, so one of my first introductions into the barbershop, right? I left the school for a while, right? Once I got my license, I go to the barbershop. And it was, to me, it was a hustle. Like everything was walk-in because at that point I hadn't built my clientele. And so having a family, having children, having a wife, you sit there all day and then we get ready to close at 6 and a client comes in at 5:58. You really ain't done a lot of cutting, so you know the bills got to be paid. So you know what I'm saying, you take it, you know what I'm saying. Then by the time you finishing up, you got, you know, the guys closing down, you know, drinking a little bit, doing whatever, right? So by the time you get home, now the wife is mugged up at you, you know what I'm saying. And the whole purpose was, you know, I just stayed. I was getting that money then. The fellas had a little drink and, you know, not knock down a little drink and whatnot. But it just got to the point where you feel devalued because it's like, okay, I'm going to come and I'm going to come and see you, you know, when I get ready. An afterthought. Like to walk in a business at 5:58 and then get a haircut that may take anywhere between 30 minutes and an hour. That'll throw a person's whole schedule off. You know what I mean? And so I got
harder.
You know what I mean? Like if you go to a fast food restaurant and you come there 2 minutes before they close, you're gonna get some BS on the food side. You can't expect quality, good hot food. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's just one of them things, man, and I appreciate the evolution, man. And it really works for me.
Yeah. For me, man, it's like you said, it's unfortunately, and I don't know how people are gonna take this when I say this. I really don't care. I am who I am with it. If you don't like it, so what? I'm gonna still be this way.
Right.
The moment my career dictates my ability to be available for my family when I need to be and I want to be, it's a problem. It has to be adjusted. It got to be. My whole point of getting in barbering is because my work-home relationship was off balance.
Right.
I was at work, but then I was able to be home. Right. And then when I was home, I was too tired to actually still. You can be somewhere and not be there.
Absolutely.
That's sinking in for a second. You can be somewhere and not be there.
Yeah.
If you physically and mentally have given yourself, over-given yourself to your job, your career, what you do for money, whatever it is, if you've given those elements of yourself over to whatever it is you've given, once you get home, guess what? You're not available.
Right.
Physically, you're there. Right. But mentally,
but you checked out.
Checked out.
Yeah.
So the comes, are you actually there?
And so for me, like what I did for a long period of time is I would work a full-time job. Soon as I get off, I get home, I run in my room, I change clothes, I go right back because I got a shop built off my garage. I go right back into the shop. So you hit it on the point. I've worked to be the best father I can, but part of that is providing. So like you said, you could be there, but not physically there. So if it's something that go down in the house that need, approach immediately, I'm cutting hair and the wife has to take care of that. You know what I mean? Or she come and, holler, get me, and I'll come. But it was one of those things you can definitely be present and not be there. You know what I mean? So I'm in my house, I'm in part of the house, but I'm still making money looking to provide, and I'm missing that quality time. So it got to a point when I can control my own time. I'm going to give you the best of me, but I'm also, there's got to be some sacrifice on both ends. When I have clients that have emergencies, I definitely take care of them. But it's something you said that I didn't really grasp the totality of the comment or just the question you had put out there until when I put up the post, and I made reference to doctor's visits and dentist visits, and a guy, his rebuttal was, well, all these things that you mentioned have walk-ins for emergency. Well, I said, for me, I've never experienced a dentist's office that has just walk-ins, but yeah, there's an ER. Right.
Heard of it.
But there's an ER. But the thing, when you think about the emergency room, two things in my rebuttal to him jump right off. Because you had made a comment, should walk-ins be more than appointments? When you go to the emergency room, it's a high-ass cost.
Man, they're going to break your nose.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And then the interesting part that a lot of times in emergency rooms, they're not as thorough as when you go see your doctor, because your doctor has your chart. He knows your history. He or she knows your history.
Plus, most emergencies happen after the hours that your doctor is. Your doctor at home first.
Absolutely.
Doctor that sees you in emergency area is a doctor who works that shift specifically. In most cases, it's doctors who are coming out of the transition of students to become doctors, and they putting in their bones. Yeah. They work to get to that point. But also, what is an emergency actually get? When you go into an emergency room, think about this. When you're going into an emergency room, you have an emergency, right? They're gonna fill out the short form paperwork, and they're gonna do what they need to do. But what are they? What do you get fast in an emergency room that you don't get if you had an appointment? The doctor. When you go into an emergency room, they rush you to a room. You still gotta wait to see a doctor.
I was going to say you'll get to a room, but right.
that you see a doctor faster with an appointment than you do if you go to emergency.
Right. Yep.
I'm willing to bet money.
Yep. I've been to the emergency room and been there literally all night.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Literally.
I'm talking about split open bleeding.
You know? And then when it's all said and done, they do whatever they need to do. Then they say, make sure that you have a follow-up visit
with your doctor.
With your primary, right? And so it was just interesting because I really didn't take it all in. When you asked the question one time we were on here, you said, should walk-ins pay more than people? And at first I'm like, but that's a good question, because when you look in any other professional industry, you know, and a lot of times people don't want to look at us as professionals.
I think also outside of people not wanting to look at us as professionals, right? Because I feel like inherently, right, when you tell somebody you're a barber, most people don't want to give you the same respect as any other licensed professional, right? Because that's what you are as a barber. You're a licensed professional.
Absolutely.
School to study a specific set of skills and services that you were able to accomplish a license based on your state's regulatory written laws and all these things, right?
Right.
You're a professional. Here's the thing, right? Just like what is that? Treble Cully said.
That episode.
Perspective, bro. Perspective is the biggest part of that. And it's not necessarily anybody's fault. Again, it's just like in regular life. People deal with things, and we allow certain things, like we allow certain behaviors, we allow certain ways of thinking, we allow certain ways of people handling us. We're allowed to handle people in certain. I'm not just talking barbers, I'm talking people, right? People who share space and breathe the same air on this earth. Life and time conditions you to accept certain things, right? Life and time conditions you to expect certain things. It's the same thing with barbering. The time and everything that's been going on with barbering has conditioned, you know, the perspective, the mindset of barbering to we still want to relate price to service. We still want to put our price out there according to what our skill set is, or what our service is, or what things I can offer you. We're still barbers to this day that feel like, well, I'm gonna just add on more services to run the price up.
Absolutely.
Or I'm gonna learn how to fade hair better to run my price up. I'm gonna learn how to do this. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that. And there's nothing wrong with advancing your skill set. There's nothing wrong with offering more services to your client. So there's nothing wrong with advancing what you offer to the industry, if that's what you want to do. But if I could change one perspective with barbers and the way they think, I know
where you going.
It's to stop associating your price with your skill set and what you can offer. Your price be associated with your value of your time.
Absolutely.
Everywhere in the world, everything in the world is valued by time. Time is the only element you can never get back. You can't get
none of that.
You can't get it back. It don't matter what you do. It don't matter what magical fruit you eat. It don't matter how much you work out. It don't matter how much you live your life right, how close to Jesus you is. It don't matter how good you fade. It don't matter how much or how little you charge. You can't get none of the time you spend doing
you cannot.
Be the most valuable thing that you have to assess how much you're going to charge what you're doing. If it takes more time to do something, it should cost you more to get it done.
And on top of that, the time that it took you to get better at your craft, to do it at the rate you do it now, right?
Absolutely.
That's time. And so, you know, I have my former high school basketball coach turned superintendent in our school district. You know, years after I was gone, I actually worked in the school district under his leadership. But we talk all the time because he's a client. And that's one thing that he told me was like, man, it's not about your skill at this point, what you do. how many years did it take you to acquire the skill that you have now? You're offering service because over time, you know what I'm saying, you put that skill together. So value your time and you charge based on your time.
Absolutely. What I was when you met me then isn't who I am now.
Absolutely.
It's just, to me, your time, right?
Right.
Your time. I love this conversation. This is my I love this conversation. I had this conversation with my wife a lot. Me and Eric.
Right.
Your time, right? It's just like, right, wine and bourbon and cheese.
Right.
Right. These are all things that you can get a dime a dozen.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Value of one to the next is associated with the age.
Right. Yeah.
How long did it take it to mature?
Yeah.
That's what makes it a delicacy.
Absolutely.
That's what makes it luxury, right?
Yeah.
Now, what I'm not saying is you should charge people more because you've been cutting hair for 30 years.
Right.
That's not what
right.
I am saying. Is in that 30-year lineage of you cutting hair, you've increased your skill set and you've propelled yourself to be a in-demand skill set bar. If what you do with those 30 years puts you in a position where there's not a lot of people around you who can mimic or reproduce what you do,
right.
Yeah, that's a value.
Right.
That's not, you're not just your typical 30-year barber. It's a lot of barbers with 30, 40, 50 years that they are now what they were when they started.
Right.
But it's even more who've been cutting for 10.
Right.
Way further along
right.
than they were now. I mean, they way further along now than they were when they started. So yeah, you should be different. And
right.
people just don't. They don't. I feel like that's one of the biggest conversations, the biggest back and forth tug of war. Because I was the same person
right.
when someone told it to me. My whole, like, even with kids cuts, my whole
right.
that's behind kids cuts. It's a smaller head. It should cost less. It ain't no big deal. It's a kid.
Right.
Start cutting kids, and it's like, no, kids are a lot harder to cut than adults.
Right.
But what's a fair price for cutting somebody's kid?
Right.
Now you got to start looking at it and breaking it down. Do I charge them based on the size of the kid's head? Do I charge them on the behavior of the kid?
Right.
Do I charge the attentiveness of the parent? Do I charge my availability physically to cut your kids? Because sometimes you hurting, bro. You're not physically capable of really wanting to cut a kid's hair.
Bending over, yeah.
So those things go into account. Now, I'm not going to punish you for the things that you can't control, but I'm also not going to punish myself for the things that I can't. You know, you want to wait until Saturday night to bring your badass kid in here after I done cut 10 heads? Right. There's absolutely no way I'm going to make that affordable for you. No, because it's not affordable. The cost for me to do it is too high.
Right. And you know my outlook. Also, Mook, shoot your question whenever you're ready, bro. We'll see it. But in relation to kids, right? When I first, went back into the barbershop, right, in 18 into 18, because I had been in the school system for so long, my mindset, right? Who was that? Somebody shot a question. Look, you got that, huh? So one of the things for me, how about charging mother on a pond? So for me, right, I used to look at kids and I look at the whole community factor, right? And Outrageous 2.0, pin that whenever you get a chance.
Send the questions to that little question. Hit the little at the bottom of the screen. Right. It's like a talking bubble with a question. Send questions to that because that'll make sure it's not overlooked. Sometimes the stuff come in so fast.
It just roll. Yeah. So
and Mook, I seen the one you had. I got it up here still, but we getting to it, bro. I promise you that. The ones that I saw.
Okay. So I used to say, well, it's community. You got a lot of single mothers, right? And so I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna cut this head. Me and one of the brothers, we're more community based. We were older barbers. Man, we're gonna go ahead and charge $10, right? This was in the end of 18, bro. And so what I start realizing after going to Brown and Brothers at 19 talked about and talking about value and knowing your worth, it would be a lot of times when you would see mothers come in there, and they may be single mothers, because more mothers, you know, at least in my experience, bring their sons and men bring their sons. Just
it's new generation. Yeah, you absolutely right.
And so, but I'm looking, and you might have two sons ready to get their hair cut, but they fresh from head to toe and then got on Jordans. You know what I mean? You're not negotiating, you're not undervaluing what Jordan is bringing to the table. Your kids ain't never seen Jordan, don't know anything of Jordan. That's your own self-esteem. You know what I mean? You got to put your babies in Jordan. So I start saying, look, it's extremely more difficult to cut a kid on you know, on average. Like my son.
On any day. On any day.
Funny, because we go back and forth. Like, man, look, you roll with the Clippers, but you ain't been doing it as long. You gotta pay your dues, bro. But he don't be trying. I be cracking up because he don't be trying to mess with them kids. But I get it.
I can hear it in my head, like,
man, he ain't trying to. Man, he ain't trying to mess with them kids. So it just got to a point, whether it's an adult or a kid, you know, things costing and you know, I don't want to price gouge you, but at the same time, they don't understand when we go home what we dealing with: backs, feet, hands. Like, this stuff takes it takes a toll on your body, man. I say that often.
Really to do this for any long period of time is absolutely determined by how you're dealing with day-to-day situations like that. I mean, one thing that I say to you all the time, that I say to everybody on the internet know it by now. If you've ever listened to anything I said, my biggest do not do that I do is I don't take enough breaks. I don't take breaks consistently enough.
Right.
And I know, I know because of me doing that, I'm shortening my ability to be in barbering for a long time. But for me, I don't fear it because my goal isn't to be in barbering for a long time. My goal is to transition, you know, within the industry doing something else and cut hair when I want to, not necessarily cut it because I have to.
Right.
I would caution you, just like Osher's cautioning you now. Pay attention to those things, man. Even if it's dealing with, because I would argue dealing with a overly picky client is as frustrating and taxing on your body as dealing with a kid.
Right.
Because if you spend 30 minutes cutting somebody's hair and then you add up the time that they, let me see the mirror, or they keep turning, or they keep moving, or they keep whatever, and it's everything somebody do is adding time to that cut. And you look up, you've been cutting their hair for an hour.
Right.
Trust me, that hour gonna feel a whole lot different than a calm, non-complaining 30-minute haircut. It's gonna be night and day.
Right.
Same cutting the kid, man.
Right.
To me, I don't think that people should just not cut kids at all.
Right.
I think you should. Here's something that I did. Hopefully, this might help somebody. Right. Instead of not cutting kids at all, days that I allow for kids cuts. Early in the week, those slower days or those beginning of the week days, if I'm doing it on the weekend, I might rotate that one Saturday out the month, 2 Saturdays out the month. I'm going to make it as beneficial for myself as I possibly can, because at the end of the day, and this is one of those, if you don't agree with it, I understand. I'm not the barber for you, right? At the end of the day, when I leave the shop on Saturday, Friday, Saturday, I have to be available for my daughter. Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday morning, Sunday night, Monday morning, Monday night, and then I got to get back to work Tuesday, and I got to be able to do it all again.
Right.
So, unfortunately for me, cutting kids' hair heavy on a Saturday compromises my ability to do that. Therefore, like I said earlier, I adjusted it. I don't cut kids on Saturdays. I'm only dealing with adults. And wholeheartedly, I'm only dealing with adults who not problematic. If you're a problematic adult, I will block you on the Saturday. You will never be able to book on Saturday again, because if you're disruptive to the last day, Saturday is arguably the hardest day of the week because it's the busiest day of the week. It's also typically the last day of the week, so you're ready to get home to celebrate them 2 days off. the last thing you want to do is every Saturday you got to deal with a complaining, picky, irritable, somebody who just dis your vibration. Who finna deal with that? No, absolutely not.
Right.
I'll let you on Wednesday.
Right. Are you able to see the question that outrageous 2.0?
Outrageous underscore 2.0. His first question was, what do you do when your client has an appointment? What do you do when your client that has an appointment coming in is late and the walk-in feels like you're supposed to cut them right away because the client isn't there yet? So the situation is you cutting hair, right? You cutting on appointments. Your next appointment, let's say it's at what time is it now? It's 8 o'clock. You just finished it. It's a walk-in came in before you finished that last head that was in the chair, and your next appointment is at 8:10. Right. You finished at 8:05. Right. And the appointment isn't there at 8:10. They coming in late. So now you sitting there waiting for your next appointment. The walk-in is sitting there waiting for you, but the walk-in doesn't know that you had a client that's late. How do you address that? What do you do?
So me personally, whenever I did deal with walk-ins in that situation, I would give them a grace period, because anything could happen. So I may give them a 7-minute grace period, 5 to 7 minute grace period. Might contact them, hey, you're on your way. If I know they're on their way, they're good, and explain, to the walk-in that, hey, I got a client. As soon as I'm done with my client, and I make sure, like when I first, went back to the barbershop, I did walk-ins and clients, and, I would make sure I got them in. And me and another barber, man, we would take care of our appointments, and it didn't matter. We were going to get the last walk-in too. We were just, we were built like that, just being older and professional. And that's some of the stuff that wore me down, because now I'm at the barbershop, I'm coming in at between 7 and 7:30. I'm getting home at 7:30, 8 o'clock. You know what I mean? I've done that for a number of years. I done put that time in. So, that's one of the reasons now why if somebody comes in, hey, we don't do walk-in, because I know that once I do it, because for me, it got to the point where my clients are very important to me, right? So, and it's just not the money. The money comes along with it. And at one time, I used to have to wait. I grew up in a time where you're waiting 4 or 5 hours in the barbershop, and I know how it feels. And I know when I got an interview, or when, if me and my wife are going out, if I have something important to do and I need this haircut, I know how important it is. So I always look out for my clients, because I know how important we are in terms of what we do. And because of that, God has blessed us, and the money comes, you know what I'm saying, with that, right? That's why I don't do it anymore, because I'm just, if I'm gonna give you all of me, I'm gonna give you all of me. And so I'm in there late. So it's just to a point, Mook, for me, I used to, give that grace period. If they don't make it in the grace period, I get somebody in and tell them they get there, hey, you were late, I gave you a grace period, or vice versa.
I like that. I like what Trevor Cuddy said too. I think the biggest thing is you got to communicate.
Mm-hmm.
When that walk-in walks in the door, don't wait until you finish the head in the chair and you're sitting there waiting for the next client to get there to communicate. Right. Communicate when they come in. Right. First off, you should be initiating the point of communication from the jump, right, be it to the barber. So as soon as that door hit, or that client hit the door, or that walk-in hit the door, hey, how you doing, man? Well, what's going on? Welcome to insert barbershop name here, right? Especially if it's a walk-in, because typically they may have never been in your establishment before. So it's on you to initiate the point of contact. It's on you to open the door of communication. What we can't do is expect clients to initiate conversation, because in most cases they're not, right? Absolutely. So once that client hit that door and I've initiated that contact with them, welcomed them in, if they come in as somebody that I've never seen before, and all they do is speak back, my next question is, I'm gonna ask them, hey man, do you mind me asking, do you have an appointment? Are you here to see anybody specifically?
Right.
Do you have an appointment, or are you a walk-in? Right. Once they confirm to me, Oh no, I'm just walking in. I'm trying to get my hair cut, man. Trying to see, I seen this shop. I'm here. Whatever.
Right.
Hey, cool. We'll check it out. We do things a little different. It's just me here right now, or it's however many of us here right now. It's a pretty busy day. We all cut on appointment, but we also accept walk-ins.
Right.
I do have a guy right after the gentleman in the chair. However, he's running behind.
Mm-hmm.
If you get in it, I have a grace period. If he's not here by X time, I'll win. And then what you do after that, after you've made that communication, you set that expectation.
Right.
Now you reach out to that client that's late and you let them know, hey, understanding you late, first and foremost, I hope you're okay, because life happens.
Right.
Life happened to you. It happened to your clients too.
Right.
I hope you're okay. I hope you're on your way. I hope maybe it's traffic. I hope it's something small.
Right.
However, you still have until this time to get here. If you can't get here by this time, I have somebody waiting. I'm gonna take them. We can try to get you in on the back end, or you're gonna have to reschedule. Whatever your policies are, you follow the policies. You stand firm in your policies, no matter who they are, right?
Okay.
And then you move forward on that. If you handle it that way, and that still gets you a bad review,
mm-hmm.
you've been introduced to the you can't please everybody syndrome.
Right.
That's just what it is. Because in my opinion, and I could be wrong, right? In my opinion,
mm-hmm.
handle it that way. You've done absolutely everything you can to please both parties while not over accommodating yourself.
Absolutely.
I think
so. I agree 100. I agree 100. And then he replied. He said, that could be a bad on your reviews. Sometimes you can't, like you said, you can't satisfy everybody. You do the best you can. Like dude came in there and he was pissed off. So if he goes on there, he could shoot a fair one at my business.
you could do everything right, and somebody could not like the way your chair felt and give you a bad review. So you can control that whether you want to or not.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's just one of those things, man. So
he said, add me. You want me to add him?
How long we on tonight? I ain't trying to be on.
I would say 8:30, 8:40.
Yeah, about 8:30. Let's keep scrolling. We're gonna hook up with him, and we're gonna have him as a guest. I'll make sure I highlight him, so I want to talk about his barbershop and some things that he's doing, because he's opening another shop as well. Okay.
And where you say he at? Let me follow him real quick.
He's in Georgia, like Lithonia. Yeah, so Mook, we're going, huh?
You said he's from the city, right?
No, he's from Champaign. So okay. we going. I'm gonna hit you.
I just followed you.
I'm gonna hit you in the morning, and we're gonna set up a date to have you on here just to kind of talk about your experience and what you've been through, so we can get the whole gamut of what you're doing. Bring you on there and prepare.
Definitely. So while we're on that subject, I want to talk about this, right? Well, I want all of us to talk about this, right? I want everybody that's viewing to chime in on this.
Right.
How important do you feel communication in the barbershop is? Because I'm noticing that there's a very apparent dynamic that the newer, more recent introduced to the barbering, they don't like communicating with clients, whether it's their clients or clients that they don't know in the barbershop. And I thought about doing a video today talking about client etiquettes, because I noticed it's a lot of clients that don't communicate. Like it's a lot of people in this world, bro, that I don't know who raising these people, bro, because they walk into doors and they don't speak.
Absolutely.
You speak to them, they don't speak back.
I don't mean to cut you off. Pink Barber, we're gonna get you on here too. We're gonna chop it up. We're gonna set some dates in advance.
Man,
we're gonna look.
We've been trying long, but you all I don't want to do a full episode. I'll be in the live.
Yeah,
so hell yeah, we definitely want to get you on, bro.
We're gonna over the next few weeks, we're gonna look at a calendar and just communicate and just start setting them out, because we definitely got a few people get on here.
Thanks.
Yeah.
So how do y'all feel about that, man? Have you experienced where somebody walks in the shop, you speak to them, you greet them, hey, how you doing?
Mm-hmm.
Welcome to insert barbershop here. Tagline. Hey, trademark that, because that's insert barbershop here, right? You speak to them, and they look you dead in the face and don't say nothing. They don't speak back. They don't nothing. Like they no acknowledgement that you said anything at all. And then as a human being, right, we're gonna take it away from barber, because as a barber, it's your responsibility to maintain your professionalism no matter what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
As a human being, as a human, you know, a flawed bio whatever that got made, that has its shaping and experiences by the world.
Right.
When you speak to somebody and they look you dead in your face and don't speak back, it kind of, you know what I'm saying, it nudge you a little bit. If you was born in the generation I was born in, it's kind of like, damn, I bet. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna have my communication with you, but you better believe that in the back of my mind, I'm having a human conversation with myself too. It's yeah, definitely.
That's my biggest. That's one of my biggest pet peeves. And communication goes both ways. You know, to be in a smaller community, you know, mostly everybody, you know, but we'll have
what's going on, bro.
We'll have some of that every now and again, not very often, because those appointments, you know, we pretty much know for the most part everybody, and a lot of times what you give out, most times, not all the time, what you give out is what you get in return. And that was one of the things with the whole booking app too, is that you're able, because you said it earlier, all money ain't good money,
right? So
you're able to control your environment, and I think that's extremely, I see it, that's extremely important, man. Because communication. I remember we used to. It was 6 or 7 of us, right? Mm-hmm. We were at Rose at a barbershop, and my son and his buddy, because you know you had those days where the radio on dinosaur, so it's more older cats in there than younger cats. They'll put their headphones in. I'm like, man, how the hell do you cut hair with headphones? You ain't communicating. Even on the communication side with your client, you ain't doing no communicating. You listening to music and you cut somebody's hair. That got to be the most awkward shit I've ever seen. So to me, and that's how you build that customer base, that clientele base, but also that respect in the community, because once you establish those, everybody, we like hoopers and athletes. In the community that you're in, if you're good at what you're doing with the Clippers, everybody loves the barber. You know?
Facts. Big facts. If you're not communicating, bro, it's difficult. What's going on, bro?
What up, guys?
What's good?
Let me see that lid, man. Let me see that lid, man. Yeah. You got that.
I'm able to put you on. Oh.
Got that little cream.
Hey, let's get on you.
So let me ask you, Dre, what's your take on communication in the shop? Communicating with clients and potential clients. How important is that to a barber?
Communicating? What do you mean? Like, you talking about when clients walk in and everybody's cutting, and what we say to the person when they walk in?
Absolutely.
Man, like you got two seconds to make that client not start feeling awkward. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Because the thing is, like, you want new clients. You want your shop to have new clients walking in every day. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And when a person walks in there for the first time, you know, they don't know what to expect. They don't know what it looks like in there. They don't know what it's gonna be. And then they walk in, and most of the time is not what they expected. You know what I'm saying? For one reason or another. Is it a 20? It's right here. You sure? So for one reason or another, it's not what they expected. Or it might be bigger than they thought, or it might be busier than they thought, or it might just be slower than they thought, and there's just two barbers just looking at them while they're cutting. And you know, it's about them knowing exactly where they stand as a client when they walk in. Is, you know, because clients will walk in, and for a long time, bro, I don't know why it took us so long to stop doing this, but you know, we want to know if they have appointments or if they're walking, right? So we would ask it backwards for so long. We would say, how you doing, sir? You got an appointment?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then right away, the next thing, the way they react is, oh, no, is appointments needed? It's only appointment. Like, when we could avoid all that by asking, "Hey, sir, are you walking?"
Yeah.
Like that. If they are walking, for the most part, a new client is gonna be most likely a walk-in, right? So, so we started finally asking that first. Hey, sir, how you doing? Are you a walk-in? And then boom, as soon as they say yeah, it's like, hey, walk in. We got this thing where we say walk in. You know what I'm saying?
But even something that's small, right? Something that's small,
Yeah.
recognize it to switch it, but also having that rapport with the rest of the barbers in the shop to make it known. But what you're doing is more importantly than making it known to the client, to the other barbers, you making it known and you creating that comfort with that client to let them know that everybody in here knows that you're here, right?
Yes.
Somebody's going to get to you. You will be attended to. We've established that point of communication. Now, if you have any questions, you're comfortable asking those questions. Like you said, in a few seconds, I've made you comfortable to come somewhere that you've never been before in your life.
The mobile barber said it. You know, the classic is you need a haircut. For me, when we were doing it, they would come in. I'd say, "How you doing? You know, how can we help you?" You know what I'm saying? When we were doing walk-in, they would say, "Well, I got an appointment with this person," or "I'm looking." It was an open-ended question. I'm waiting on such and such, or "I'm here, man. Y'all got an opening," and it would just kind of take it from there. You know?
Somebody said in the comments, "Nah, I'm here to buy a cheeseburger."
Hey, but the thing is even with something like that, I've seen barbers they make an awkward situation funny, right? You ask them like, "Man, you here to pick up such and such anything," right? The point is establishing contact when somebody walks in your door. People are choosing to walk through your doors. They don't have an obligation to come through your doors. So if they're choosing to walk through your doors, you should probably choose to greet them. You should choose to make them feel welcome. You should do what you need to do to make them want to sit down and at least see what you have to offer. But I'm sure you, the one thing that'll always happen if you don't make that point of contact is they're going to feel some kind of way. They probably gonna already start sizing. Now a person is looking at you through a different lens because you've made them feel some kind of way. That same person that would have been gauging what you was doing with that haircut, be like, "Man, he fine. That fade look blurry." Now they're gonna be looking at you through a lens of attempting to critique what you're doing. "Man, he look like he don't really be here. He got on slides." All this stuff that probably wouldn't have mattered is gonna matter now because you put him in a negative space. Negative energy only invites negative energy.
Right.
If you go with positive energy and you invite them into that environment, that might be your client that got 6 kids or got 6 brothers, or he's a pillar of his community. So people ask him all the time, "Where you getting your haircut?" One client turn into your whole clientele. I've seen it happen. One client can build up your whole clientele.
Communication key in everything. Barbering, sports, relationships, marriages. Communication is everything across the board, man.
Yeah. It's a reason making billions of dollars talking about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's people making millions of dollars just being speakers. There's people making millions of dollars teaching people how to speak.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Communication is
absolutely
it's everything. You know, and that's something that I had to learn the hard way. You know what I'm saying? As a shop owner, like, and this is something that I'm still struggling with, trying to be more consistent with it, is having that communication with all the barbers. You know what I'm saying? Because before, like, I think I told y'all before, like, I used to always have that mindset that we all adults here, like, we all barbers, we trying to make it, we should all be on the same page, like, automatically. Like, it's just that's the way we all should be thinking. It's just common sense. You know what I'm saying? But my common sense might not be somebody else's common sense, and I might come up short to what somebody else thinks is common sense. You know what I'm saying? So communication is definitely key, because we talk about things, and especially me being a shop owner, like, I can't just come out and talk about things. I'll be thinking about a certain topic that I want to talk about for a couple days, just to make sure that I know exactly how I want to come across. And I'm just talking about, like, topics that are, like, heavy, like topics that I know that people are gonna have opinions, heavy opinions going one way or another. You know, things like that. I'm thinking about them constantly, just to kind of know exactly how I'm gonna bring it out, how I want them to be tactical on how I want them to hear it, because you know, a lot of times things can be touchy. You know what I mean?
I think that's also an intelligent thing to do, especially as a shop owner, because when you're bringing up topics that people are going to have opinions about, that people are going to have a difference in opinion about, as a leader, right? Let's say that as a leader, you should establish and understand how you feel about what you're going to say, but you should also try to establish and understand how you're going to feel about everybody else's opinion about this subject that you're going to talk about.
Yeah.
That way, you can maintain your maturity about it, because some people express their opinions in different ways, right? Some people can express them tame, calm, mature. Some people, their identity won't allow them to do that. They're gonna
get rowdy.
Feel it. Yeah. To be poised enough in your understanding of what you're saying and how to deal with that personality. So I think that's immensely important. That's part of communication, knowing how to communicate.
And you got to know who's in your shop. After you don't have people there over and over and repeat people, you get to know, you know, people and kind of where they are and some of their characteristics as well.
Of course, my coach used to tell us all, I played quarterback in high school, he used to tell us all the time, I don't care what happens after the ball is out of your hand, because it's on you to know your personality.
Right.
You threw that ball to.
Yeah.
So you knew what the potential outcome was going to be. If you threw a 50-50 pass, guess what? It's your fault.
Right.
It's your fault. I wanted to say something right quick. Yukio Bree, they did reach out to me. I did talk to him. They supposed to be emailing me about something. I appreciate that, by the way. Yes, I just did talk like that this Monday. If you haven't seen it, go to YouTube and check out my YouTube, and you'll be able to see what you'll be able to see it. You won't be able to hear the talk, though. You know what I'm saying? You can't put it all out there. But reach out to me. Hopefully, I'll see you guys sometime in December.
You know that you guys know that boy Quick's barbershop?
I've seen yesterday. Hey, he's in Gilbert. My mother is in Mesa. So I'm a definitely, next time I'm out there, I'm a bend on him. But even before that, I seen you had hit him, so that would definitely be a good look. I don't know if you seen him or familiar with him, Shy.
He actually was. His name is Quick. His Instagram name is Quicks the Barber. I just put it on. I'll put it on a comment right there. And he right now he's at like 54,000 followers, and it's all off his content, bro. It's all off like the type of content he makes is pretty cool, because like he talks about different haircuts and stuff like that, and then he pops up pictures and stuff like that, and he keeps the people engaged. And it does very well. It does the content does very well in terms of numbers. But he's a really cool dude. Actually, he was nominated. He was at the Grammys. He was nominated for content creator as well.
Yeah, I think I've seen the pictures.
Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. So I thought it would be cool to get him on the show one day, and so I told him that you guys do every Wednesday. He said he would love to. So
hey, I had to pin this, and I'm scrolling through here. This is a good question, man, because it's a question that stirs up a lot of fires, man. It stirs. And also, this is one of them questions where if you're in the room, let me give y'all some game, right? Free game right now, right here, right now. Look at this question down at the bottom of the screen. If you ever in a room full of barbers and you can't distinguish the older barbers from the younger barbers, wait till the room is quiet and ask that question and watch the. You'll be able to distinguish the difference immediately. So the question down below is, if y'all can see it, is are y'all taking a $150 walk-in and letting them cut the line on your appointments?
Not me.
I would have to look at who my appointments are.
Who them appointments are, right? I gotta see.
Yeah, I gotta see, because
at least
squeezing them in would mean that who's my next client. That's the main question. Who's my next client? How I don't even want to say nothing. I just like y'all know what I mean. Like yeah, yeah. I don't want none of them watching right now. If anyone watching, it's like it depends on who's the next client, like how flexible they are, what kind of people they are. You know what I'm saying? If I know it's one of my clients that comes on his lunch break, I'm not gonna mess with it. You know what I'm saying?
I can't. I think it's like you said. Immediately my first question is, who's my next two clients?
Yeah, who's my next client?
Is how flexible are they?
Rich.
Dude, the biggest question is, are they difficult cuts themselves? Right?
Yeah.
Because if it's one of my clients who come in and they got, you know, an old man cut, get it off my ears, and I know it's something that I'm typically doing 30 minutes just because I enjoy talking to this person.
Yeah.
Done in 10 minutes. In my mind, I can still get it done in 10 minutes and talk to you while you're here. But I felt that. But if it's one of them clients, like it's my people, but he also got difficult hair, like, or he want a intricate space bunny design with color and stuff, it is not.
Space bunny.
I have to let it go. If it that 150 to come back after hours.
Right. So for me, it would be that thing where, you know, I have clients, if that came up, they'd be like, man, you better go ahead and get that $150. I ain't got nothing to do. Now, that would be a little something different. But I done been in those shoes, right? So you waiting, you got a schedule, and I got my homeboy that I told you passed away, right? We was thick as thieves. So I got my hair cut for free, but I had a schedule. So I go in, and one day he done me like that. And I said, look, man, I ain't got no beef. I want you. I'm your boy. I want you to get your bread. But you know, I'm on the clock. So at least you could look at me and say, hey, man, let me go ahead and get this. Come back at such and such time. I'll get you.
Wait. Hold up. Let me make sure I heard that right. Now, he was cutting your hair for free.
Yeah.
Multiple times he had gave you the barber love, you don't owe me nothing cut, right?
How we got out.
And then he had somebody come in and buy the chair.
So yeah, he told me to come at a specific time. I was on my work schedule.
Right.
And then instead of I'm going to go to the chair and dude cut me off. Man, look.
Somebody bought that and you felt some kind of way.
Yeah, just like, man, just tell me to come back at some the time or whatever. I want you to get your bread, but just the approach. Like I've been this, I got something to do.
Yo, barber brother, you was in the wrong.
Man, look.
You was in the wrong, man.
I watched them do people like that so many days. Like I got a schedule. If you can't get me, I'm cool. It could be after.
You sound like a customer right now. You sound
but don't have me
switched it up
at the time. Bro. I was a customer at the time. So,
but you understand that you are the flexible customer because you getting it for the free.
And that's all I was saying. Just tell me to come later on. Just do what you.
He ain't gotta tell you nothing, bro. You get it for free.
Yo, I tell you what. This is why I like, and I've been doing this for years. I pay for my haircuts. I don't care what barber cuts my hair. If one of the guys, I make an appointment with them and I pay for it because I don't like favors, first of all, and then second of all, I want them to do me just like they do all their clients. You know, that's why I chose you to cut my hair. I don't want you to just give me a cut like just whatever, just because I'm not paying. So I pay. Because I want them to get their bread.
Red
too. You know what I'm saying?
Still need communication. Somebody riding with me. Hey, this is my thing. I can
never riding with you.
That's the getting in the chair like, hey, listen, bro.
My barber brothers, I can never. I can't charge another barber to cut their hair.
Yeah, I can't.
Not if we rock out. I can.
Hey,
I can put you in a. I couldn't put one of y'all in my chair and take y'all money. I couldn't do it.
I'm gonna give it to you. You ain't gonna I'm gonna give it to you. But the thing about it is, I understand that because I feel that same way when a barber sits in my chair. But then I remind myself that if I sit in his chair, I'm gonna pay him. What you do with your business?
But I'm saying if we jam, like we have a relationship. Now if a barber just come out of nowhere, I don't know. But if we jam, nah, you can't pay me to get my check, bro.
I respect it, and I think that's another one of them perspectives that's new school, old school, right? Because and it ain't a shot at all. I swear to God, that guy who told me he's Dominican, but he's an older Dominican cat. You wouldn't tell from his face because you know they age like candles, bro. Like they don't change every day.
Like candles.
But he told me that I asked him in school, you know, he was teaching me the game and da 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 da. I finally built up the courage to ask him, can you cut? Hey Jorge, can you cut my hair? And he was like, okay, come on, Primo, I'll cut your hair. I sit down, he cut my hair, and I get up, and I never asked him how much the haircut was because I had already placed a value on it higher than anything I was willing to pay for because I what you do, right? I know the value of a haircut. So if everything around here is $30, $40, I'm finna give you at least double that, right? In my mind, I made that up when I sat down. So in my pocket to give him the money, he was like, oh, no. Let me tell you something, Primo. You never charge a barber brother. You always take care of a brother, and because one day it might be me. I might need you to cut my hair, and you know I want you to make time for me. So I understand it from that perspective, right? But then I also understand this perspective. Sometimes, just like you, right? Let's go back to your situation when you switched it up on your barber, right? There are times where a barber client needs their haircut during regular hours. So if you want your haircut during regular hours, the ask is too much. You ask to get your haircut during the hours that barber is making money to pay his bills. So looking out for you or not, you're asking for me to take a loss in the form of a favor, right? Which barber love, cool, but we also gotta understand we can't keep handling business like it's personal and personal stuff like it's business. If I'm gonna cut your hair for free, I'm gonna make that time off of books. That's gonna have to be on an off day, or that's gonna have to be after hours if I'm staying at the shop or something. But if it's doing
my point, and that was my point, he hit me and told me to come through. That's my point. I could have came after hours.
So
it was cool with
y'all don't work in the same shop? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, we so at the time I wasn't even working in the shop, but this is one of my best friends.
Right. This,
you know,
locked in.
Like even before the cutting hair even came about, we rocked. Even before he started cutting hair, before I did, but even before he started cutting hair. So if he would get an opening, he called me. So I can come after hours. I can, you know, and I would cut his hair sometimes too. But it was just that relationship. So my thing is, if I gotta double back on you, then I don't have a problem with that. I want you to get your bread. But you called me from work, and now I'm taking my work schedule, and you just tell me to come later on.
Man, I'd have gave your ass a Coke and 10 like, look, bro, go back to work. I'm gonna holler at you when you get off work. You my boy, you gonna understand. Right. Look, he's talking about
what was the ticket? What did you get?
So at that time,
how much?
He passed in 2008, so it was a long time ago. But the ticket, I think, dude bought the chair for like $50.
$50?
Yeah.
What was the price of his normal cut?
At that time, I think prices was probably going at about 15, 20.
Yeah, bro. That's the equivalent of like a 20 days.
But I'm like, damn, I done came off work like.
So look at it like this, though. Look at it like this. Yes, he could have communicated better, right? But if the cuts was $15, right? That means that guy offered him the equivalent of 15, 30, 45, 3 cuts and a tip.
No doubt.
For one haircut.
No doubt.
Not making sense, right?
He said, I'm going to take this L with my buddy real quick.
Hey, my boy gonna understand. Look, we're gonna tip some. Listen, like, not only still gonna get your hair later on for free, but we gonna
like Cat Williams. Hey, like Cat Williams said, he made a pimp decision.
Immediately got put in the situation. But you know what I love about this conversation? I'm going through some of the comments.
So somebody asking me how many barber friends would I cut for free? All my barber friends I would cut for free. I'm not gonna say I would schedule you during my shop days, but I'm not putting a barber brother that I rock with in my chair, you know what I'm saying, and charging. That's not how I get out.
I respect. I seen somebody else. I think Pink Barber also said they don't charge each other in the shop. They do service swaps. I like that. That's something that we do in our shop, but we still pay each other for it. We really taking the same $60 and recycling it, because I'm gonna give you 60 to cut my hair, then I'm gonna cut your hair, you're gonna get a 60 back. Like, it's the same thing, but to me it's just, one, I'm dealing with younger barbers, so I don't want them to ever devalue or water down their value at no point, not for nobody, including myself, right? I appreciate what you're doing. I appreciate the time that you're taking to do it, and in most cases I'm asking you to stay after hours to do it. So yeah, I want to accommodate you for that time.
Yeah.
But I saw something else on here. Reggie said, if it's a barber, if the barber works in the shop, that's the free. If they don't work in the shop, gotta charge them for it. So that brings up two questions I want to ask. One, when you're cutting barber's hair and you're servicing another barber, are you servicing them during regular shop hours? And if you are, is it still free?
So when I was in the shop with the others, no, we didn't. It was always on downtime. We all respected each other's time. It's on downtime. Yeah, but no matter what, like I wouldn't take another barber's money that I rock with. Of course, like you said, if somebody schedule appointment and they come during the day and really don't know, and they schedule an appointment, it's one thing. But like, if you came to town and you, like, I can't take your money, you know what I'm saying? Cut flow Dre, that's just, I don't know, that's just how I rock, you know what I'm saying?
And to me, there's no right or wrong for that, right? It's ever, works for you. My question is this though. Let's say, for instance, that barber is coming to town and they book an appointment with you during a regular day. It's on a Saturday, matter of fact, not a regular day. It's on a and at the peak of a Saturday, that in between 1 and 1:30 time, right? Same deal.
So it might be a conversation, bro. Hey, I need to get this bread. Can I get you after hours? Now, if it's something, man, I really need it, I'll shoot you. But I ain't gonna. It ain't gonna be. It just ain't gonna be the same. It's just like, I don't know, that it means so much to me. Just the fraternity of it all, and so it's just like people at restaurants, they do food swaps, and it's just part of the industry. You know what I'm saying? Don't get me wrong, because like, I went to Atlanta and used to cut my hair. You know what I'm saying? But I booked it during during business hours. So, you know what I'm saying? And we hadn't talked as much as, we keep in touch more, a little more now, but, it's during business hours. But if he bent on me and came, I can't charge you, man. It's just.
So here go another good question. Pink Barber, we got to get home, bro, because she be, her mind be going. She say, now my barbers, if they need to get in and it's not busy, she willing to do it during shop hours. But if it's busy, then they need to wait till before or after hours. And I think Reggie agreed with it. Reggie said, let me see if I can find it. I want to say Reggie agreed with that. Like, if it's slower in the shop, he don't worry about it. If it's busier in the shop, then he'll still get you in, but you gotta wait. So with that, we all barbers. We all understand how taxing barbering can be on your body, right? If it's a busy day, and unfortunately they gotta wait, right? And it's hours. What if your after hours don't start until 30, 40 minutes after? Because that happens. 30, 40 minutes, you're not off. You don't finish your last cut to 30, 40 minutes to after the shop closed. Are you still going circle back around and get that barber before you go home?
I got you. Because like Barber Pink Barber said, clients come first, and they do. But you guys are the people that motivate me. When I'm looking, everybody can't talk my language. Everybody doesn't know what it feels like to be a barber. Everybody doesn't know what we go through. So for me, it's fraternity, and that's my way of doing my part. Because we've talked many times, like even when we was at CT, right? You got some barbers that are super cool. You got some barbers with their chest stuck out. Communication, depending, it was, you know, it was a little shifty. You know,
I can hear Reggie saying this, bro. Really, I can hear him saying that, bro.
You can't cut on the even at the end of the day. I ain't done. I just
hey,
that Coco.
I respect that, man, because I feel like, one, I respect the fact that you stand on your philosophy, man. I'm a big advocate for the philosophies of barber and are unique to everybody, right? Your philosophies of barber and are unique to you, and I can appreciate, almost I can congratulate, and I admire the fact that you stand on your philosophies of barbering. We don't have to share the same philosophies to be in, because we locked in. I think I speak for both of us when I say we locked in. But I know that a lot of our philosophies with barbering are different.
so like for me, this is kind of how I look at it, right? After you know us you know jam, we do the podcast. So like for instance, I ain't no rah dude, but if we you know at the CT and it went up, we man back to back,
yeah,
you know,
it's up,
like,
it's up and it's up.
Like it just is what it is. Like
who put the super glue up there?
That's you know what I'm saying. Like that's how I rock. So when I rock with a person, when I rock with my peoples, I rock with my people. If I don't mess with you, I don't mess with you. So that's how I take it. Even you know what I'm saying. If Reggie coming through here and he on his way somewhere, man, I want to start getting. Man, come on, I got you. It's just once I lock in and I like people, that's just, you know what I'm saying, maybe it's the old school thing, but I'm a loyal cat like that, man.
I respect it, and I ain't knocking it at all. I'm the same way, yeah, with a tweak. A little tweak on it, you know what I'm saying? It's many barbers, many, right, that could tell you, if you come to me and you're trying to get something done, I got you. If you need something done, I got you. If you come on a busy day or book through a busy day or something, I got you. I may still charge you, but I'm probably not going to charge you what I'm charging everybody else. But also, this is where my tweak come in. It depends on when you come, what you're trying to get, and what I have going on in my life. If I have something to eat, I got something to do, or I'm hurting, I'm tired, it's one of them, I'm worn out, we gonna have to circle back, and like Reggie, I have to either catch you in the morning or catch you sometime tomorrow or a day that's better to me, right?
But I think it goes back to what we talked about earlier, communication, right?
Absolutely.
Quickly, anybody just gonna fall through, hey, I need you to go ahead and get me right, because we understand and we respect what each other do. So if it's
how many people do that though, they'll come fall right in on the side of. I've got no
barbers.
My right hand to Jesus Christ. I had a barber come in on his birthday. Now, I ain't never had a conversation with this dude, but I started to kind of put up my reps in my city, and he came around. He used to cut my hair, matter of fact. Okay. I picture that.
Okay.
He cut my hair. Fall in on his birthday, like, hey, what's going on, man? On a Saturday. No, it was a Friday. Yeah, I see you been, you know what I'm saying? I've been seeing, man, we ain't had no conversations. Right. We ain't had conversations. We ain't went and had a drink, nothing. Right. I just know you because you used to cut my hair, and now I cut hair, so I see you on social media.
Right.
Come in, start a whole, let's call it what it is, an empty conversation, a black person conversation. Right. One of them ask you for something as conversation. Right. Like, come on, we're gonna be grown. We're gonna be grown. Let's you know what I'm saying? Right. This is our podcast. If you didn't know, we ain't holding no punches. We ain't no bullshit over here.
Right.
We a buck.
Right.
So he having one of them, let me set you up to ask you for something as conversations, right? And as a grown man, you peep that. You know what that is, right? You see what it is.
Right.
You know it's all coming around to something. So I'm gonna play the fool. I'm gonna play dumb and listen. So, bro, he like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? I've been seeing you been, putting up cuts. You're doing this, you're doing that. I seen you at the da-da-da-da-da. Man, you know what? I decided, man, I'm going to let you cut my hair for my birthday, man. I'm going to let you go ahead and bless me for my birthday, man, because you ready now, man. Listen, my right hand to God, this shit actually happened to me, bro. My right hand, Jesus Christ, I am not making this up. If I'm lying, I'm dying. So I'm standing there and I'm in disbelief that somebody could be this arrogant, this inconsiderate, right?
You ready?
So I'm just cutting and I'm like, in my head, immediately no. I got the time to cut your hair. I do, because my next appointment, I'm early on this one. My next one ain't gonna be here for another 30 minutes. What you getting, I got time to do it, but immediately no. Just because I had you came in me. And barber brother, it's barber love, all that, but immediately no.
Right.
I'm not making no time for that type of person, because you in that conversation, without saying it directly, if I'm reading in between the lines, told me exactly how you feel about me.
Absolutely.
In that conversation, just reading it. Listen, this is what barbers do the best, baby. If y'all don't know, we read in between lines. So when you having them conversations, you better understand. Your barber not just listening to the words coming out your mouth. He listening closer to the stuff that you're not saying. People pick words for a reason. Every word somebody choose, there's a reason behind them choice of words. What's your what you really say? Right?
Right.
But anyway, long story short, that'll happen. You know, people come in and they'll feel like because you know them or because they know you, or they used to cut your hair, something like that, barbers can display signs of entitlement. Let that marinate on you. Let that sizzle in your soul a little bit. Cut your wing and say, let that sizzle in your soul a little bit. Barbers display signs of entitlement.
I got you. If I'm in Atlanta, you got me too.
Who said that? What they at?
Outrageous. He was laughing because he coming in town to need a cut. I'm gonna take care of him and acting likewise. But it's but it's interesting, man. But I don't, like you said, it's a little old school and new school. But it's definitely, like you said, yeah. If dude would have came in like that, I'm like, oh hell no,
bro.
You ready now? Like, man, you better get your ass out of here,
bro.
Man.
People, stuff like that is what put me in a position to start to really. If you haven't noticed about me, bro, I'm a social butterfly. I'll talk to anybody. I can get a conversation in any room. But situations like that kind of groomed me to be a better protectant of my energy, right? Because you can let somebody who vibrating at a weird frequency or vibrating low or whatever the case come in and change your frequency just off who they are, because as a social person, naturally you want to let people in. You want to be there for people. You want to be accommodating to people. You want to be considerate of people. You want to be all things, these great things to people. But sometimes you can be all those great things to the wrong people. It happens. I've been a victim of that. And I'm not going to say victim in the sense that people was taking advantage of me. I was taking advantage of myself, because you got to let somebody close enough to be that to you, right? And I've done that multiple times. So when people talk to me now, they kind of be like, man, bro, you got this da-da-da about you, but at the same time, you real, like, I can't really read you. I can't get a bead on you. Well, that's because I had a lot of people fuck me over in my life. So I let the people who get close to me, you've like we discussed on our last episode, it's because I've been running a month-long, year-long, 2-year-long interview on you. The whole time you've been associated with me in my life, I've been running an interview on you, watching how you move, watching what you do, listening to your words. What words are you choosing? How are you approaching me when you're talking to me? How are you choosing to be around me? What's your reason for being around me? What's the capacity that you're around me? I'm interviewing you on all those things, not because I feel like I'm this, that, and the other, but because I do know how to protect my peace now. At 36 years old, I know how to protect my peace. I'm gonna keep bullshit from around me.
No doubt. That's real talk. So we winding down.
Yeah, we didn't. This is what happened when I started.
Yeah, it's all good.
I cut my way out. I said, you know what? Fuck it.
Yes, sir.
Let's talk.
But I do want to ask it, and somebody else asked it. How did you go about? So what was the conclusion of that situation? Exactly how did I assume you didn't cut his hair? did you let him down easy? How did you deal with it?
I intelligently gave him the same energy he gave me.
Okay.
When he finished his whole Uncle Junebug with the cigarette out, let me do a speech.
Right.
I politely told him, like, man, you know what? Happy birthday first and foremost, man. That's dope. I'm glad you celebrating your birthday, man. I appreciate that you have seen, you know, the strides that I've been making in this industry. I'm working hard. Unfortunately, man, I'm not going to be available to cut your hair until, you know, next week sometime. I'll book out in advance. But here's what you could do, though. You got your phone with you? Send me your phone number. I'm going to send you my booking link. You can book with me.
Right. It is what it is.
Disrespectfully,
right.
You can book with me.
Right.
Then when you book, I might block your ass. Like,
how did he take it?
Know.
Right.
Bro, he was not happy about that.
Yeah.
Not happy about that. I started to get stories, third-party stories, people coming back saying, man, people saying you done got arrogant, people saying you done got the big head because you got some clientele, and people saying this, that, and the other. But at the end of the day, if they not talking about you, you doing something wrong.
No doubt.
I want you talking about me. For whatever reason, say what you need to say. I know who I am.
Right.
And the people who know me know who I am.
That's all that matters.
That, bruh.
All right.
Unfortunately, God did. For real, bro.
Easy, man.
Easy.
Man, it's coming up on 9 o'clock, man. We trying to be intentional about
What May say, because I'm an artist and I'm sensitive about my shit.
That's that Dave Chappelle, huh?
Man, that's that Erica Badu, bro. That's my shit.
Oh, that's Erica Badu. I heard on
Dude, bro. She say, listen, I'm gonna play a new song for you now. Y'all tell me you like it, but be cool now. Cause I'm sensitive about my shit.
Yeah, man.
And a really good episode. This is what I love about this podcast, man. We can come on here, bro. We can just talk, man. We can what do they call it, bro? When a group of people get together.
They said not Dave, but if they go to the last stand up, he did talk about being an artist and something about being sick. Y'all check it out.
They say his name can't be talked. We gotta get home, bro. She hilarious, bro. Listen, we was in the shop together. It was to the point where it was like, bro, me and her personality in one bit. It's not a building big enough to just bottle up me and her personality together, bro.
Yeah.
I swear to God. And bro, you think I'm off the chain? She the noodle, bro. She owns the noodle for real. Fella, that's what they call it. What I love about this is we can get on here and shout out KK Cuts. Shout out
what it do.
Shout out MLB Major League Barber, the original barber show, the original barber trade show. But that's what I love about this, man. We can get on here. If it's just me and you, if it's me and everybody in the comments, if it's me and you and somebody that joined, if it's me and you and a guest, whatever the case may be, the beautiful thing about barbering is because we are all bought into this together.
Right.
We've all made this a part of our life.
No doubt.
It's easy
right.
to have this conversation with a fellow barber.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Love that.
Everybody coming in, you know, we're thankful. We appreciate whether we got a big name on here that people follow. We coming in, you know what I'm saying, and keeping it close and we rocking. You know, the people who support us wholeheartedly, we greatly appreciate it, man. We're gonna keep doing our thing, man, and we'll have nights like this where we just chopping it up, talking about things. We'll have nights where we'll bring people on, and you know, we got some of you guys out there that we're definitely going to get this calendar together so we can have it in advance and get people on and do our thing, man. This is a beautiful thing, man, and I think we're making our mark in the industry, and you know, appreciate everybody for following us. Follow us at or supporting us. Follow us at iCutMyWayOut _pod, man. 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time every Wednesday.
And we got to make a clip of you telling your barber, like, hey, man, you could have called me and told me, man.
I was salty as hell, man.
see. But that be that old head in you, bro. You don't let shit go. You got to go.
Yeah.
Oh no.
But then look, we was like brothers. Then we debate and we drank later on that night. So
y'all was debating
why
he was cutting your head at night. Like, hey, listen, come on now, you gotta understand.
It was all good.
Hey, man, we appreciate y'all so much. Thank you again for tuning in. This has been I Cut My Way Out. We out of this thing.
Absolutely.
Peace.
Absolutely.